Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Time and money to have the best experiences out of your life. In this video, I am going to discuss about a feature which each and every one of us would have experienced at least once in our lifetime. And if not long ago, at least in the pandemic hit years of 2020 and 21. That is, most of us would have seen comfort in watching or rewatching the shows that we have already watched and that we are very well versed with. It could be Friends, The Office, or even Big Bang Theory, or any other regional shows that you would have watched during your childhood or your happier days. And not just these shows, but also snippets and short clips of Mr. Bean and Tom and Jerry and various other cartoons that you would have watched in your childhood or in the happier days. It feels comforting to rewatch that because of multiple reasons that we are going to see ahead. And if you didn't know, it was not you alone. Many of your friends and various other people have resorted to this. And the reason is seeking comfort, directly or indirectly. The reason you were bombarded with those short clips of Office, Friends, Game of Thrones, or any other shows that you watched earlier during this season was because YouTube algorithm was smart enough to capture the overall sentiment of humans, and it could predict that the unprecedented times that we are living in and we are experiencing was something that was unusual. And by suggesting or people resorting to watching these stuff and helping them calm down was something that YouTube algorithm captured, and was something that helped psychologists and various other professionals to identify a certain human nature that even though people knew was something that came up again during these unprecedented times. So let's try to dissect it and understand the reasoning behind watching this and how you can improve and why this is happening, and help you to make a better version of yourself and experience life in a much better way. So in a similar fashion, to build a good bunch of community and help each other, I'm trying to build a community at Telegram channel, and if it permits, we can grow this into a much bigger community. So ensure to go check out my Telegram channel Timon EXP. Ensure to spread this word and ask others also to join and be part of this community. So I urge you to invite 3 of your friends and ask them to invite 3 more. And this can lead to a good chunk of community where everyone can come together and form a great bunch of community. I hope to see you there. The first and the most simplest reason for people starting or resorting to watching these repeated shows was because it helps them to forget the problems or current situation at least for a short while, and it gives them some amount of freedom and happiness of reliving the happier moments or remembering how happy they were and forgetting problem at least for short duration. This also means that watching that show or hearing that song helped you to remind those good old days, and only the happier days or happier moments out of those were running behind your mind like snippets, and this helped you to forget the problems for short time and make you feel good about yourself. And second is, during these stressful times and at situations where you are stuck in that situation of problem, these repeated shows did not let you hanging for what is going to happen. That is, you knew what is going to happen, and in many cases you knew line by line what is the next dialogue the person or the characters are going to say. And because of that, the uncertainty was taken out and you knew what to expect, if it's the feeling of joy, happiness, sorrow, anger, etc. And this again, as we saw in the first point, not just helped you to forget the current problem but took out that uncertainty and unknowingness factor out of the equation. And the point related to this is that this uncertainty leads to anxiety. That is, in your current situation, be it at any given point in time, there is uncertainty that you might be expecting due to various projects running, various activities that you have to do, and various other things in your personal life, professional life, etc. might be leading you to cause some sort of anxiety. Again, this might not be at a severe level, but this uncertainty might be leading you to not know what to expect. And again, in this situation, as we discussed earlier, these repeated shows will help you to calm down your nerves, and the known factor and comforting storyline will help you to comfort as well as gain confidence in yourself that you need not have to worry a lot and things are going to be okay. And this is not the end of life, and that one thing is not something that your life is dependent on. in most of the situations. And similarly, during those stressful situations, your mind is occupied and you are strained, and there is mental bandwidth occupied and taken away from key activities. And there might not be enough motivation, or even for that matter, there might not be enough mental strength or motivation left for you to embark on something new. And these things will not occupy, that is, the repeated shows will not occupy your mental bandwidth and will give you some amount of comfort. Again, I'm repeating this because this is the kind of situation you will face when seeing those repeat shows. And even though you have seen maybe 100th time, and this might be your 110th time, and it will still give you that amount of comfort feeling which is unparalleled and might be difficult to meet with other things. And watching these shows during the anxiety led situation will kind of put you in that safe zone and help you to ease down, which might not just relieve your stress level but also help you to come out of that constant struggle, or even for that matter that sort of a situation, and might help you to relieve the bandwidth, or might help you to think or start from fresh without being stuck in the old loop, and might help you to open up new ways of thinking in some cases as well. And last but not the least, world is chaotic and there are tons of uncertainties and uncertain events that are being thrown at your face, and these unprecedented changes. And because of that, our brain sometimes acts or reacts like a caveman brain, that is flight or fight response. That is, when they see these chaotic things happening and facing uncertainty, many a times the go-to response will be fight or flight, and they might not know to think rationally, and that might not help in that current situation. And in the current world where we are facing fewer life threatening events as such, the flight or fight response might not be the right approach, and we might have to look at it more rationally. Surely we are developing as a society and as humans to improve upon this, but still thousands or millions of years the brain development that has happened is still behind in your brain, and we are trying to overcome it. And in your professional life, this is going to be very helpful if you can overcome and bring this change and strive forward. And hence these sort of series, shows, movies, songs, or even clips or snippets of these helps you to relieve and calm down your nerves to a great extent. And again, this might be helpful in short term. A very important thing to note over here is that you should not get stuck into this, because many a times this leads to dopamine effect and it releases dopamines, and because of that, for that short duration, surely you might feel relieved and happier, but this should not be a go-to response for a long-term goal. For long-term, you will have to face these uncertainties and charge on, and you will have to take ownership of it. You cannot rely back on these comforting situations always. Surely when you are at despair and want some amount of comfort, you can go to this and have to do various amount of stuff. And again, for this self improvement, you can subscribe down to my channel where we are trying to discuss and grow the whole community at large, not just personally or professionally, both financially, and having the best use of time and having the best experiences out of your life. And we have one life, at least as far as we know now, and we want to lead that in the best possible way and achieving the goals that we have. So I think this helped you to gain a little more deeper insight, and not just your brains but also various other people who seek to watch these for comforting situations. But again, as I mentioned, you will have to overcome this by training your brain and also facing the situation and building mental grit and stability as well as focus. And you will have to focus on the end goal and know that the end goal might be something that will be helpful, and you will have to enjoy the journey along the way to lead the happier life and the life you wanted. So with that, ensure to like, comment down below, as well as subscribe down to my channel and share it with as many people as you can. Also ensure to join my Telegram channel where I'm trying to build a good bunch of community and have a better experiences out of your life. I hope to see you soon.